Well. 2 days from Turkey. Today we have some interesting back pedals to talk about. We're talking about flexible Ford, Toyota being fined, and a Stanley Cup surviving a fire. Everywhere I go, a real fire. Really wanna know who I is and who I be. Not an EV fire, but a fire nonetheless.
Some mornings when we read the opener, my first thought is,
what are we even doing?
What world is this?
What have I done with my life that I'm here every morning? Adrian gets the first comment on LinkedIn. If you didn't know, if you just listen to the show, there's a live stream community that watches it live on X or LinkedIn. It's probably the most, and YouTube. And there's always like a little competition going on who can make the first comment on the show, especially on LinkedIn. Adrian Wall Gibbs, not a hockey Stanley Cup. Correct. She look, already Adrian's getting clarification on what we're talking about in this show. No, a Stanley Tumbler, not a Stanley Cup. What's this? Yeah, all that stuff. So it's just so much fun to be here with you. Just in the regular day in, day out ongoings to the auto industry and culture and Thanksgiving and the people side of the business. And we could do a segue right there. Speaking of the people side of the business,
we could do that.
I'm not going to do that too early.
But we're in the intro, so you can't do that. So tonight we are live streaming and premiering on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, the whole 9 yards. A mashup of episodes 1 through 3 of More Than Cars. I know we haven't released episode 3 yet, but you get a little sneak peek preview at the end of the mashup. If you're around the dinner table with friends, family, a lot of that's happening this week. Make sure and pull this guy up. It will live forever on all those platforms. So you can pull it up and just share exactly what this industry really is. This is a gift to you to say, hey, bring people around, show them exactly who is in this industry, what the communities are being impacted, how the employees in this industry are being impacted by retail auto dealers across the country. And we just want to share that with more people this week.
Is there a LinkedIn event for this already?
There is a LinkedIn event. You can go to our page, ASOTU, and it'll be the first event right up there.
There you go. And I know, I forgot about this yesterday, but last month we just experienced a big spike in podcast listenership, and it's way up, which made me think like there's a lot of people probably in the podcast audience that may not know about the rest of what we do. And kind of the backbone of what we do is this daily email that comes out. It's called the automotive or the Daily Pushback. And you can get it by going to ASOTU.com. It's right there. One click sign up kind of thing. And it's kind of the podcast form in an email that's fun, informative, digestible. It'll make you laugh. And it will also tell you if you got the email today, probably if you get it tomorrow, that we're having a buy one, get one sale. It's our first Black Friday sale ever in the history of ASOTU.
Had to do
Actually,
it. Had
my
to
life. We did. And so it's buy one, get one on all shirts and hats. So like the quintessential staples of what we do. You've maybe seen around the Love People More Than You Love Car shirts, different colorways, different lengths. We have long sleeve tees that are going to go up there. They're not up. We have them. We have some colors that are still not up. They'll be up later this week, like the mint green. You can still order it. And the hats, buy one, get one. And we also have some really dope stuff on there. Like the shoelaces are my favorite.
That's right.
Say. Do I have some of those laying around? I don't have them laying around. I was going to show them to you. So
some shoelaces. Wait.
Do you? They come in this. Oh, there you go. We got white. We got black. We got
look at those. Look at that.
Cool. Come in that test tube. You can give the test tube thing to your kids. They can fill it with sand, and it says "Love people more, you love cars." All that. Try if you haven't noticed. It's kind of an embedded part of who we are, as a collective of thousands of automotive professionals that are part of this community. You can go to shop.asotu.com. and go right to the store, or go to asotu.com and click merch, and you're there. All right. I think it's time to talk about some news. What do you think?
It's time for that.
So following a legal dispute in Illinois where Ford's EV program was challenged for violating state franchise laws, the company has now made very significant changes to its EV certification program for dealers, significantly cutting training costs, reducing requirements for EV chargers, installations, extending the timelines. It's all changing. So basically, training costs have been cut in half. And back up for a second. If you're not aware of this, Ford has 2 levels of EV certification. Right. There's certified elite, which is the top level, and then just certified. And this was Ford's way of saying, if you want to sell EVs, if you want to get this inventory and you want to be an EV dealer, you have to certify, which comes with a lot of expenses. So basically they're certified elite and they're certified. The requirements, the training costs have been cut in half from like 20 grand to 10 grand. The requirement to install a level 3 charger, which are like 400 grand, has been removed from certified elite. It was never part of certified. And then the number of level 2 chargers that both levels need has also been reduced. Certified elite has gone from 5 to 3. Certified is down to 2. Level 2 chargers much less expensive. So kind of a little bit came out at the hearing. And here's a quote from an officer in the trial basically saying no witness, and the witnesses were car dealers, basically. No witness has reported issues with charging vehicles, nor could explain why a level 2 charger might be inadequate for future test drives, like why it would be inadequate to keep cars charged. In fact, many dealers testified they have never had a problem charging vehicles for delivery or to customers for taking test drives.
Yeah. So, like, back up. First of all, remember when this all came out and like there was an uprising and everybody was like, there's going to be some state that figures out how to talk to Ford about whether or not this is a good thing for Ford dealers and for consumers. There's kind of two roads here, and I can understand Ford's side saying, hey, look, we want to have this charging network, which is available for customers. It's clear that level 3 is absolutely the best way to go for that because you don't have to rely on a time to sit there and wait. Level 2 takes that longer charge. But yes, for dealers, like they have the ability to charge these things overnight or let them sit there for a little while, charge up that vehicle and then let it sit. It's not going on long rides or anything. And so the level 2 is obviously just an easier way to get in. Taking this down from, someone going from 5, which is going to cost them 450 to 500 grand probably to install, plus all of the power that's necessary to probably well under 300 grand that's a big change in a dealer's investment, especially in more rural areas if they do want to have access to the larger inventory of EVs. And so kudos to getting this on the ground. My guess is this is going to set a precedent in other states. And other dealer networks are going to start to talk to Ford about exactly what's
for sure. Yeah. And it's like one of those things where the leverage and the influence and the momentum shifts, and that's what happens in business and culture. Year and a half when this came out, it was like, hey, these EVs, you're going to miss the boat if you don't have these, so pay up if you want to be part of the thing that we're making. And now it's like, you know what? You can keep the inventory. We don't really want it. Now it's like, actually, you can have it. No.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, this is coming on the heels of the report that we talked about last week, where Ford was the lowest in their dealer relationships right now. And so they've got to do things to maintain dealer trust. And this is going to be one of them.
I think it'll be a positive thing for everybody, even EV rollout. I think it'll help it all. Speaking of, it's not a positive thing. It's a very negative
loss
thing.
Of trust.
Speaking of loss of trust. Yeah. Feels like an unusual one coming from Toyota, but it's Toyota Motor Credit. It's not really. So Toyota Motor Credit Corporation is facing a $60 million penalty by the U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau for alleged violations in refund practices on bundled products in loan contracts impacting credit reports. So basically, the CFPB has ordered Toyota to pay $48 million back to affected customers and a $12 million penalty, a little icing on the cake that they're going to hang on to. The issue centers on difficulties in canceling bundled products that are pushed into car loan contracts and saying they're hard to cancel. And when they are canceled, the consumers were getting inaccurate refunds. So they were also accused of providing misleading information about borrowers' payments, so affecting the credit scores. Toyota did not admit or deny findings, but just said we'll pay the money. So, I mean, basically, this action, it does highlight an increased scrutiny on junk fees, being upfront, transparent with the customer, and obviously following through on the back end. And, if you buy something and the thing says you can cancel it, you should be able to cancel it easily. So I think it feels like a win.
Yeah. I think this is when it's just a heavier eye on everything that is auto lending, auto privacy. Like the details around an auto purchase are getting scrutinized at a very high level right now. We've seen it all over the last 2 years, and this is another example of that. I will say, just from being in dealerships, like the systems necessary to quote cancellations and refunds are not well developed. And so, this is something
it ain't Amazon.
What's that?
It ain't Amazon.
It ain't Amazon is what they're saying,
Return.
And you can't return this joker at Kohl's and get a $5 coupon for the thing behind it. You know what I'm saying? But so I can see how this could have easily just kind of become an issue, little few cents here, a few dollars there, and over time just builds up to a massive issue. Just watch out for consumers having questions or wondering exactly whether or not they should purchase these things, because this will be somewhat in the consumer eye, because how they love to do dealers and auto people on
and it's just stuff like this is just bad for everybody, right? Just bad for everybody. So it's getting fixed. You're out there on the front lines. Be extra transparent today. I don't know. Yeah. Especially if you're a Toyota dealer, because this is in the Wall Street Journal.
There you go. Speaking of major news.
Oh,
Segue.
We always save the biggest story for last around here.
This is straight up the biggest story in a remarkable incident, just straight up made for TikTok. A Stanley Tumbler. So if you don't know what that is, you'll see it here in just a second. Survived a Kia Sorento car fire, which has led the company to not only replace the tumbler, but also the burnt car, as the owner made a video where she pried the tumbler from the charred interior and shook it to reveal there was still ice in it. That video has now seen over 80 million views.
Wait, I think we have the video.
Yeah, we've got the video.
Oh, nice.
Here it is. So she's going in the car. The Stanley Tumbler's there. She rips it, pries it out of a burnt car, and then shakes it.
It still has ice in it.
And it
still has ice in it.
After the car.
The cup holders are full of water from like the firefighters putting the car out.
It's
the plastic's melted. And this thing literally, at first I was watching, I was like, is this a fake one? Like, is this a plant? Because it looks like it's in such great condition.
Right.
But I mean, these Stanley tumblers, like your dad had one when he went to work, right? Remember, it's green, big green one. You unscrew the top cup, and that's where you keep your chicken noodle soup. This is like the tumbler modern version of that. This is this is a big brand doing what a big brand should be doing.
That's
paying
attention,
here,
like
which is
leverage attention right there. Yep.
So 80 million views and growing. This kind of reminds me of the ocean spray guy, right?
Yeah, very similar. Yep.
Dogface something where he's on the skateboard drinking the ocean spray after his car broke down. So I like this stuff. This is just a reminder for all of us. I think for you at the dealership level, at the industry partner level, be paying attention to what's happening in culture and happening around, especially in dealerships. Look for opportunities where people are posting things organically.
Just simply like pay attention to the user-generated content around your dealership and make opportunities for that to happen, right?
Or do things that encourage user-generated content.
Exactly. Encourage that. I mean, how many people are posting pictures of their new car that they just bought from you? Like lean into that. That's probably an audience network that if you just expose and lean into, like it's right there for the taking. I will say
these ideas right
Kia
now.
probably isn't loving this because it's all attached to a potential
the flip side of this.
Yeah. There was like a whole recall that came out on these 2022 Sorentos, and people are pointing to, hey, maybe that's the issue there. So if I was Kia, I would get involved in this little brand play too with Stanley. We'll see.
I don't know how I want to make it go away. Yeah, I didn't know it was a 22. I thought it was an older model. Man.
Yeah, I think it's like a Gen 3 the recall was noted in 2022, but it was a Gen 3. It was a little
they're still saying like, hey, if you have one of these affected vehicles, park it outside. Yeah, park it outside. Which if you're parking it outside, the Stanley will still keep your coffee hot.
There you go.
We hope you have an amazing Tuesday. Just a day or two away from Thanksgiving. So if you're traveling or if you're in the store, just take care of some people. Be thankful for the people around you. We'll see you here tomorrow.